Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing there?
What's happening?
What's going on?
What are you thinking about?
What do you say there?
What do you say there? Hello, everybody. We're David
And Jeremy
Carter.
Castro.
We just reversed our last names. Welcome to the first episode of the rebooted podcast.
And what is it called, Dave, again?
Epic, the podcast. There you go. I like how you did that.
There it is.
Very nice.
Right.
That's how you know.
We have to do it exactly the same.
Exactly the same all
Every
the time.
time.
Every time.
Every single time.
That's how you know, though.
That's how you know.
How do you know? Because
Because
it's blue
blue and green.
That's how you know. That's how
If you caught that reference, we love you.
and you're a good person in society. So, welcome, Jeremy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's 2020.
It's 2020, a new decade.
Yeah, brand new decade.
Brand new generation.
Unused decade. It's a brand spanking new, freshly wrapped decade.
Brand new, ready to screw everything up all over again.
Ready to start another war. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of depressing.
Well, that ends the podcast, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
Hope you enjoyed
starting your decade off in the most depressing way possible.
in the most depressing way possible. Right. But yeah, no, so we are...
If you missed that, we are going to war.
Yeah, we're going to war, basically.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Okay, so, yeah, so basically we are Incatatus Productions. Can you tell the people what Incatatus Productions is, Jeremy?
Well, Incatatus Productions, wow, it's so many things.
Many things.
It's
Some
almost,
say too many.
Yeah, it's almost, philosophical in a way. It's almost really existential. Really,
I
call it.
would agree.
It really perplexes me on a daily just how many things we do.
I vomit every morning thinking about how much we do.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
but, really, we're a video and film production company.
Yeah.
We're just two guys that love film, entertainment, music, television.
Being creative.
Those
are really big things for us.
So,
being creative.
We make videos for businesses and music videos, commercials, things of that nature. But I'd say our number one passion will be filmmaking, narrative storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we do. We also, what else do we do, Dave?
We do.
Aren't we also DJs?
We also DJ.
Yeah, we DJ.
That's also cool for us to do.
We're also licensed real estate agents.
Yeah. Oh, and chiropractor.
Oh, yeah. So, we do that as well.
Yeah. So we're pretty well versed. Some would say we're well-rounded.
Well-rounded psychopaths.
Well-rounded sociopathic people. No, but we do enjoy what we do a lot. We're very good at it. If we are about to toot our own horn, it's 2020. Why not?
You know what? Why not?
Tooting our horn is socially acceptable.
It's socially acceptable.
I think people like to do it in public.
I mean, our president does it.
I saw this one guy doing it last night. And that was just at a what's it called? At a Julasco.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah. Tooting your horn.
Tooting your own horn.
I guess we can do that
He
now.
was just like, I'm going to go do it. And I'm like, I'm
was
going to
just
watch,
tooting?
bro. He was just tooting his own horn. Like going at it.
Just going at that horn?
Just really going at that
ripping
horn.
into it? Wow. Okay. Well, if he can do it, I'm just going to toot my horn right now. Damn it, we're the best filmmakers in the world.
Oh, God.
I said it.
Yeah, you did. You really went for it, didn't you? You really tooted your own horn. All right, but yeah. So this podcast is basically us giving our opinions and our thoughts, and maybe some reviews on entertainment, film, maybe music as well, TV shows, those kind of things. What else do you think we do in this podcast?
If some type
entertainment,
if some type of current event happens in entertainment that we want to speak on, we're just gonna chat,
right?
But really, give our opinions on entertainment. I guess would be our number one.
Yeah,
primarily film, television, music videos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we do music, I say we go the video route
for sure.
Because there's greater minds that can review music.
Oh yeah,
and
for
really
sure.
no one gives a crap about people's opinions on music.
Too.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's just subjective. If you like a song, you like a song.
Shout out to Joe Budden and those guys. I
I
definitely respect their opinion. They're in the music business.
Right.
But if I were listening to me about my opinion in music, I'd be like, shut up! You don't know anything.
Oh, God, that red line's so hard right there.
Well, you know.
I'm the one wearing the headphones. Okay, so basically that's what we're about, and that's what you're getting into right now for the next, probably, I would say maybe hour, 45 minutes to an hour more. We're just going to see how this goes, which basically means it's going to go extremely well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to continue this. So we'll probably do a first season. This first season, what do you think? Probably like a good solid 10 episodes, maybe?
Good solid 10.
10, 12 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Like a baker's dozen, 13?
We'll try to do it's hard to do once a week because it's like, is another great movie going to come out this week or a
new show?
It's like, we'll try to time it around great new content.
We'll have a schedule.
Yeah, a schedule. Yeah, we'll have a schedule.
Let's say 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
every 2
like
weeks.
That. Yeah, give ourselves enough time for some dope content to come out.
Yeah. So,
which, these days could be...
that's calling everybody else out, by the way.
Right.
Make dope stuff.
Please make dope stuff.
For us to be able to review and listen and watch. And
yeah, I mean, it's a new decade. Let's try to start fresh.
Right.
The last... what was the album of the last decade? Wasn't it Kanye West?
Oh, the album of the decade?
Yeah.
Oh, by Billboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
And didn't that come out 2010?
It came out 2010, yeah.
So
it came out like in fall of 2010, yeah.
So let's go ahead and Kanye the crap out of this year. Just start strong.
Do it and just... it's all downhill from It's all downhill from 2020.
It's all downhill from 2020. Downhill, So let's start strong and end just as horrible as we did.
Right. And 2029 will be like, damn, 2020 was the best.
Yeah, 2020 was the jam, wasn't it? Do people still say the jam?
The jam.
Welcome to was the jam.
WEXY, the jam.
The jam.
Jam. We could totally do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what this podcast is about. And so, are there any other pressing topics that we should get into before we get into our main meat? Before we get into take a bite of this podcast sandwich here? Filled with meat?
I don't think so.
Just try to talk about
what
meat.
Do you think?
I mean, I think we explained to the people what we do, what we're about, what this is going to be about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should just kind of dive into it, take it from there. Just dive on in. Just dive
Put on your cap, Jeremy, and just dive on in.
Dive on in.
Dive on in.
Dive on in. We could definitely do that for another hour. So.
If you
guys request that,
yeah,
we will just do random ad libs for an hour,
and we'll do it. Yeah, we really will.
Yeah, we would. If that's what you guys want,
because we're gonna crack ourselves up. So we're gonna have a great time.
I'll love it.
I'll love you loving it.
I would love you loving it, loving me loving it.
I love you too.
I love you too.
Oh God, are we about to?
Yes.
Okay. Just said yes immediately, just no hesitation, just yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
So today is a beautiful day in beautiful Chicago. And Jeremy, what can you see outside the window right now besides bums and birds?
Death and destruction.
Death and destruction.
Pure chaos.
Smoking cars.
Looking at the Sears Tower right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful...
Wait, is it still called the Sears Tower?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
No other name for it.
No other name I've ever heard before.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, Sears Tower. We
got
some cranes building some new skyscrapers.
There are plenty of cranes, isn't there?
Yeah. We're on the 28th floor of a building downtown Chicago. Great view. Great day.
Fantastic view.
Yep.
Fantastic day.
Yeah, just a bunch of buildings. And I see the Chicago Board of Trade.
Oh, the Board of Trade.
Yeah, the Board O Trade.
The Board O Trade, as they call
trade.
it in the biz.
In the biz
of trade.
The Board O Trade.
It's hyphenated.
Yeah. Board
hyphen O
hyphen trade.
That's exactly what it's called. And the NASDAQ. And the Bordeaux trade today closed at negative 44.
The good old Bordeaux trade, as they say.
Yes, that's fantastic. But, okay, so what we're going to talk about today, besides just joking around, obviously, what we'd like to talk about is the last film we saw in the last decade.
Yeah.
It's really the last film we saw. And can you tell the people what it was?
It was a little old jam. I'm going to start using jam from now on. That's my thing.
It's the Roaring 20s. Might as well. Might as well use the jam.
A little old jam we like to call 1917.
And it's not that we just like to call it that. That's actually what it's called. Just so you all
Oh,
know.
I thought that was my
That's
thing.
you just,
okay,
that's
it's
your
called,
pet name for
it's
it?
called 1917. Wow.
It's your pet name for the movie.
I thought it was called World War One.
It's my affectionate name.
The movie.
The movie. That would be a hilarious name. World War One. The movie. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
At the Grindhouse.
Okay, that's copyrighted. So, so we saw a little film called 1917. An indie film, I would say.
Small, low budget.
Small.
Indie film.
Two-man crew, probably. Two-woman crew, I would say.
It was, a new up-and-coming director.
Up-and-coming. What was his name?
I think it was Samantha
Mendes.
Samantha Mendes.
Definitely Hispanic, so we gotta have support.
You do have that.
We do have that.
Yes,
the one thing we have.
Samantha Mendes. God bless her soul.
It's an S, not a Z, because they don't want to seem too Hispanic, basically.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
Sam Mendes.
Mendes, yeah.
Yeah, what was this last project? Was it?
It was Skyfall, I believe.
Skyfall.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think that was the last
went from
one.
Skyfall to this.
Yeah,
wow.
Skyfall is in the new James Bond movie. Not new, but second newest, I guess, James Bond film.
I really enjoyed Skyfall. That was a great
did
film.
too.
That was a great Bond film.
That was really good.
It was kind of like a return to form.
Yeah.
For the franchise.
I agree.
There was a couple movies after... what was the first one?
Casino Royale?
Yeah, Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Casino Royale is still probably my overall favorite.
It's
of the Craig
really
era.
good, yeah.
But then Skyfall came in and really brought it back, gave it that weight, I think.
I'm trying to remember what was right before Skyfall. The one where they...
You don't remember those. There was like a couple...
There's like
two after Casino that just didn't land right. They were okay.
Oh, yeah, they were fine. I just can't remember what they were.
They're not memorable.
They weren't
okay,
memorable.
It was the one with Javier... Bardem.
That's Skyfall.
Yeah. Oh wait, okay. Well then that was
Skyfall.
It. That was Skyfall.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then that was
Wasn't
the one.
that Skyfall?
If that was Skyfall,
I'm pretty sure
then
that was
that's
Skyfall.
the only one that I can even remember.
Yeah, because the one before that was the one with
Because Skyfall was the one where
they go to the house at the end and it's like on fire.
Wait, okay. Should we talk? Are we doing spoilers?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, we didn't even think about this aspect of it.
No, I thought about that right before we started talking about more deeply.
Are reviews going to be spoiler or no spoiler?
Well, I think they're going to have to be.
Okay.
So we're going to definitely give people a warning.
Okay.
So yeah, this review, essentially, we're going to talk about 1917.
Okay.
It's going to have spoilers because we want to discuss the movie. So the thing is, if you haven't watched 1917 yet,
right.
which it hasn't come out in many cities yet. It's only come out in I think 3.
Yeah.
Which is...
Chicago. I don't know. I think it's like New York and LA. Right? The 3 major cities. Right?
Yeah, the top 3 cities in the United States.
Yeah, the only cities
that matter.
Cares about.
New York, LA, and Chicago. So yeah, luckily...
Screw you, Houston. No, we love you.
We love Houston. Rockets. But luckily the only theater in Chicago that was showing it was the one across the river from where we live right now.
Yeah.
And so that was very lucky.
Yeah.
So we saw it, but it comes out in all theaters, I believe, really soon. This week or something like that. Maybe
I think it is this week.
Yeah, and so pretty good timing. Okay, so Quantum of Solace. That's the one with and Spectre. Wait,
okay, Spectre was that was the one with old boy Christoph Waltz, right?
See, that's what I was thinking. I thought that was Quantum of Solace, but that is Spectre.
No, Quantum of Solace was the one after Casino Royale.
Yeah, that was the one with the guy that was trying to... Yeah, I didn't really like that one too much either.
Yeah, that one
it was the
trash.
one where they were in Bolivia at the end, in the desert or something.
Yeah, and it was during the writer strike. Remember?
Oh,
so the script was made
right.
by little Samantha Greenwald from he was in high school, turned in an essay and it turned into Quantum of Solace.
Oh, you're right. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And I forgot. No way, Sam Mendes did direct that one.
He did?
So he directed Spectre. That was his most recent one before.
Dang, I didn't know he did Spectre too.
Dude, Skyfall was from 2012.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
It was that long ago?
Now, which one was the one where Bond literally got to the brink
of death?
Yeah, and and M dies. Not M. It's Q, right? No, not Q. Who's the leader?
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh, right, yeah, we're spoiling.
It's M, Judi Dench.
Yeah, Judi Dench.
Dame Judi Dench.
Dame Judi Dench. Was that Spectre?
That was Skyfall.
I thought Skyfall was the one at the brink.
Yeah, because Ray Fiennes, he was the one in Spectre.
Yeah.
He's the new M, I guess, technically.
Skyfall was the one.
Harvey Mendes.
Yeah, that was Bardem. Yep.
Okay.
So that was probably the best one. That was my favorite one since Casino.
Same.
And
Spectre, I don't remember too much about it. That was the one where he was like...
Spectre was the one when it was like a deep undercover, like super, almost Illuminati-ish, like deep.
They were all related, right? They were all like somehow linked to each other. Like, that's what the thing is.
Christoph Waltz, I believe, was like this deep, shady underground cult leader.
Right.
And they dragged Bond out from retirement or something to take him on.
Yeah, Van Hoytem. Yeah. He was the one that did the cinematography for that one.
Yeah.
So basically in this new movie, in 1917, Sam has re-teamed up with the man.
Our favorite cinematographer, I believe.
I
overall.
believe so too, yeah.
Roger Deakins?
Roger Deakins.
He's a master.
He is, and everyone pretty much knows it, luckily.
Yeah,
They've acknowledged it.
That boy, I mean, he just got his first Oscar, right?
Yeah, like for 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
For another one of our favorite films of the decade, which was
Blade Runner 2049. Yep.
Masterpiece.
If you haven't seen any of these movies that we're talking about, do yourself a favor and just watch them. Even if you don't like movies, watch them, for us.
Yeah.
For us,
and if not, we don't like you.
Yeah. And you can go straight to hell.
We're really passionate about films.
Right to hell.
We're really passionate about this.
Just go down the escalator and
you basically watch it or die.
Jump into the flaming pit of hell.
For eternity. The choice is yours.
Don't come back.
The choice is, it's yours.
It's either watch this movie we're recommending or go to hell. Those are the only two options.
That's it. That's all you have.
We're done. Podcast is over.
Turn this mic off.
But, okay, so this movie, 1917, it's about the second to last year before the end of the war.
Yep. World War I.
World War. It's a very easy phrase to say. World War. It's a lot of R's and L's. If you say it really fast, it gets really messy. It goes, World.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, basically it's directed by Sam Mendes, filmed by Roger Deakins. Who are the two actors in it? Do you remember their names? It's George...
Their names.
Got it. I can't remember their names. Because
they are phenomenal.
Yeah, George McKay
Yep.
as Lance Corporal Schofield, which is a great name, Schofield, because of the revolver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then Dean Charles Chapman.
Yes.
And Dean Charles Chapman, you would remember him from...
A little old show, another indie classic.
Small show.
Small budget, low.
Maybe just one season.
Was it on Hulu or something?
I think it was on Yahoo.
Yahoo Film. Yahoo Plus.
It was called... Was it Game? It was just Games.
Games of... What was it called? Chairs or something?
Chairs.
Like
Games...
Games of chairs?
Chairs.
Musical chairs.
Musical game chairs.
Game of musical chairs.
Game of musical chairs, the show.
Yeah.
It's called Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. You may have never heard of this.
Yes.
But yeah, he was in that. He was Tommen, the king.
Yeah, the king.
He was king for a bit.
Yeah, king for a bit.
Spoiler alert. He decided to fly. Flew the coop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the other actor, Dean Charles Chapman, in the movie, and then they're the main two actors.
And when we say main, it's pretty much
just
the whole film is just those two guys.
Can you describe what this movie is about and like what makes it so interesting?
Well, I guess the premise or the gimmick you can say is that it's two soldiers who are given this simple but highly important mission.
Yeah.
To go from point A, which is like their side of the front, to point B, which is like in the middle of the German front, and it's in order to save a lot of lives.
Right. How many? About 1,500.
Yeah, it was about 1,600 lives.
Yeah.
So, but it was only these two guys, and they had to cross enemy lines
in
order to tell.
They're part of the English army.
Yeah,
yeah.
In order to tell the commander.
Correct.
Of those 1,600 to stop a attack because they're going to get ambushed.
Because the thing is that they believe, and I'm pretty sure this is all accurate. I didn't really check it, but I'm pretty sure this is all like accurate in terms of like battles.
It's based off stories that that were told. So I'm sure,
especially by his grandfather.
Right,
it was Sam Mendes' grandfather who told him kind of these things.
So I'm sure it's a combination of certain tales into one.
Yeah,
but the concept really is on this mission. Which sounds simple, but it's getting from point A to point B in the middle of the war in enemy territory. You and one other guy.
What was ex-enemy territory,
right?
And the Germans apparently retreated,
right?
And so they thought they could cross it, maybe, but they weren't sure because they weren't sure if it was really evacuated, if they had retreated really or not,
right? And
so that's what leads it into the. It's a trap, basically. That's why they're trying to get them to stop,
right? And so. That's like the plot, but the gimmick along that is that it's filmed in a way, and I say gimmick only because it's like really the main driving idea.
Yeah,
of the
we don't say that
creative
negatively.
Yeah, it's not a negative.
Yeah.
But the creative side is that it's filmed as if it's one take. Now,
right,
we'll probably discuss our opinion on that, but the film expert, this is where Roger Deakins comes in because it looks literally, not just technically, but with the lighting and just the look, it looks like one take. You can tell some points,
for sure,
where they cut, but it's filmed to look like it's all one take. So you're literally in these two guys' shoes.
Literally
following them.
They hand you a pair of shoes.
Yeah, when you enter the theater.
Yeah, replicas of their shoes.
They're like muddy, dirty World War I
bloody,
era. Yeah, bloody.
Mine were squishy.
Yeah, I slept in some rain. I was like, is this real? Like, absolutely.
100%
real brain.
Real. Literally in
real
their shoes.
Brain in the shoe. I was like, this is amazing.
This is immersive. This is quite possibly the experience of the decade.
So, after you put on your World War I era shoes and you sit in the theater, you're just instantly transported into these guys' like world, and
those
you don't
true
leave.
Air Force Ones,
right? Yeah, you're stomping around in them too.
Yeah,
stomping in those Air
Force Ones. Big boys,
big boys,
big boys. Huge boys.
Oh man. Anyway, so you're there following these guys from point A to point B, and all the little things that happen, and nothing happens as it should. So you're always on edge,
and it's never really expected stuff,
right?
Like you assume that they're going to run into like maybe some Germans,
but
they don't do it in the way that you would assume.
Exactly.
It's really interesting actually, because it's not like they just run into like they're just turn a corner and then suddenly there's like a battalion, tank and a platoon of them. They're like, oh my dear God, nothing like that happens. It's always a very specific way. Okay, so that's basically the main.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like the main plot and the main kind of creative style.
So let's get into the one take aspect of it, right? Okay, so a one take is basically a scene, like a sequence, whatever it is. It depends on how they want to film it. But basically, when you don't cut, so like films most of the time it's cut. Anytime you switch like a shot to like a different person, that's called a cut. Right. So when you keep filming and you just turn the camera instead of cutting, you just keep motion, you keep moving with them, you don't stop recording, that's called basically one take, right?
And a lot of films, this isn't the first film that's done it this way. Like the most famous one recently was Birdman.
Yeah, right.
It won
most
Best
famously
Picture.
at least.
Yeah. And it was film where you basically combine a bunch of those long takes.
Right.
And you don't cut until like you creatively put things where you can cut on an action,
right,
or on a like the camera passes a tree or something, or or a body.
Somebody walks into the camera, which makes it dark,
right,
and then they start again where it's dark.
Second of darkness,
but exactly.
You continue the camera move.
And a lot of times, I guess maybe not a lot of times, but at least in this movie, they kind of had to digitally smooth it just to make it more seamless. And I think a lot of movies like Birdman definitely did that.
Oh, for sure.
So like it looks like it's just one take, basically.
Right. Now, what makes this, I think, even better than what Birdman accomplished is that it was outside. It's filmed outside. Now,
Right.
Birdman, most of it was shot indoors.
Indoors,
so
yeah.
it's easier
You're
to
right.
control the lighting
for
and
sure.
make sure that the shots blend together
The
when you
weather.
have full 100% control
Yeah.
over your environment.
Compared to
These
the
guys,
indoors,
the
yeah.
whole movie is outside in the mud.
Yeah.
The grimy.
There's like
gritty,
2 scenes that
you know
take
what I'm
place
saying?
indoors, man.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How they were able to match up because these shots weren't shot on the same day. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
So they basically, Roger Deakins decided when Sam Mendes came up with the idea. I bet she was like, "Oh dear God, why?" But it's another challenge.
another
I'm sure
challenge,
he
yeah.
likes new challenges. But
Right.
the workaround was they pretty much only shot on cloudy days, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when they're outside, it's either cloudy or it's night. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
then
yeah.
you can more control the
uniformity.
Yeah, right. So there's no random cloud or
Right.
the sun doesn't jump around randomly.
Because
so,
there's like the shadows like different on their face or something.
Exactly. And that's stuff
Yeah.
people would pick up on. You know what I'm saying? So
it takes you out of it.
so, it's cloudy, so the lighting and the clouds all are the same, so it looks like the same day.
Right.
And man, they did it just unbelievably well.
Really, extremely well, masterfully well, I would say.
And it's not just, and when I say gimmick, it's not negative because it's not a gimmick as in gimmick's sake, like they're just doing it to do it.
Right.
It literally puts you in the shoes of these two actors and you feel their fear.
You feel so nervous.
Oh, the whole time.
For
Once
them.
once the movie starts,
Yeah.
tension is at 100 and it doesn't ever go down.
And what's great about how it started, right? Mm-hmm. They give them the mission. Basically, your brother's in this battalion that's about to go. One of the characters. Mm-hmm. They tell him that his brother's in this battalion, and that battalion is gonna attack the next day and be led into a trap and possibly die. So that's what drives him initially. It's what one of the characters has more drive to like warn them, because he has a brother that's in there. And so obviously he doesn't want the other 1,600 or 1,599 soldiers to die either. But that extra, layer of concern of having a family member, his brother in that battalion that could die, that makes him want to go basically, it just pushes him further. So when the movie starts, they give him that mission. They like just check. He just checks like what? He just checks like if he has ammo.
Dude, he checks his pistol, and then starts walking.
And then
like,
immediately
he
goes, "Let's go."
He's like, "Let's go."
And then the
other guy's like, "Wait, hold up."
He's like, "Wait a second, we gotta plan this.
Wait, let's talk about this.
We gotta talk about this.
And you can
we need to be clever about this."
Yeah, and
that's
you
what he
can
said.
see like because the generals, the generals there, and he's literally like, "Listen, guys. Here's the mission." And you can tell on his face that this is all bad. But it's also very important. Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah,
and then you could tell the look on their faces.
Colin
like,
Firth, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah,
and,
the man.
Yeah,
Colin.
like each of the general characters or like the high level commanders are all like higher level actors.
Yeah, and they were so good.
Who are so good, and
So
they're basically cameos, really.
Yeah, basically that's what it was.
Little cameos,
little cameo, but well done.
Well
cameos.
done, yeah. So, I mean, you could just tell, like, hey, this mission. I mean, you're already at war; it's all bad. But this mission is especially bad,
for sure,
but highly important. You know
and
what
they
I'm
only
saying?
send these. Technically, it was going to be one, but they told him to grab a friend, and so that's why he grabs his friend. What is it? It's George McKay's Lance Corporal.
Yeah, Lance Corporal Schofield.
Yeah, they grab him. He grabs him because he wasn't sure what the mission was for. So they just go, they get informed, and then they immediately get told to go and.
Right. So there's no room for like character development.
Yeah, Blake was just immediately like.
But you don't need the character development. Like
you understand it.
You instantly feel what situation, and you're instantly like, what would I do right now?
Yeah, that's the thing about great filmmaking is when they don't have to tell you things, they can just show it to you, and they trust the audience, us, to understand and to fill in the blanks.
Right.
And that's what makes it so satisfying because, like, for example, it comes with any situation in real life. If you learn how to do a mute grindy on a snowboard, is it easier if you accomplish it? Or is it more satisfying if you accomplish it versus somebody just giving you a magic potion and telling you can now do it forever?
Right. Well, coming from personal experience, I did it both ways.
You did it both ways?
Yeah, I did it both ways.
Okay.
I first did my first mute grind.
The first mute grind?
Yeah. I did that first.
By yourself?
By myself.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that was pretty dope.
That was pretty impressive.
It was on my first try.
Wow, okay.
But then someone gave me a magical potion.
Yeah.
And I tried it again.
You did it again?
I did it again on the first try,
Wait.
but it wasn't quite as satisfying.
So did you use part of the potion to let you to take away the ability to do that in the first place, since you had already done it naturally?
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I did take that other potion first.
That first, okay.
The potion to forget about
how you did it.
How I did it.
And then
in order to take the other potion to do it automatically.
You got to start from zero.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
And then I did it again, and it just didn't feel the same.
It didn't feel the same.
Yeah, it didn't feel
and
the
that's
same.
what this is about.
Right, exactly.
A mute grindy that you can do from the beginning.
All right, and that's Epic the Podcast. Thanks
That's
for
the
tuning in.
We end it right there.
Moral of the story is...
Take potions.
Take potions to do all things in life.
Okay. But yeah, so they immediately set off.
Yeah.
And while Schofield is telling Blake to slow down and to just plan this whole thing out, Blake's just going. They're walking through trenches filled with soldiers, all in one take, and it's gorgeous.
Amazing.
It's beautifully shot.
The tension, so high.
Immediately starts ranking up the ramping up the tension.
Mm-hmm.
So you immediately start feeling like, holy crap! You act as if you're Schofield.
Yeah,
you're like.
You're hold up, bro.
You guys should probably plan this.
Yeah,
you know?
I was in the theater.
Yeah.
I was saying to myself, hold up, bro.
Right, it's take ammo. I don't know,
hold
make sure
up,
you get enough
bro.
stuff or whatever.
Don't just listen to this general.
Yeah,
get ourselves murked.
Right.
And so the thing is, they didn't even know for real. They just said, "Oh yeah, don't worry," because remember, everyone there thinks the Germans are right across on the other side of the trench. So they're still there.
Because two people had got killed already.
They just got killed.
Yeah, two people had gone over to the area that these two guys are supposed to go there, a few days ago or a day prior or whatever, and they got shot. They were dead. So they're like, yeah, it's not safe.
Right.
You know?
And so as they're on their way over there, they meet some other guys who are like, wait, you guys are going over there?
That was
prepare to die.
Andrew Scott's character, Lieutenant Leslie. So
he was straight up like that.
Dude, Andrew Scott's one of my favorites. I love him. He was Moriarty in the Sherlock series with Benedict.
No way.
And and Martin. And so I forget what else he does. He's on Fleabag, which I need to watch, but I like Andrew. He's
Fleabag
really
was
good.
actually really good.
You haven't watched it? I haven't checked it yet.
It's awesome. It's funny.
Yeah, and then basically they run into Andrew Scott's character, they run into Mark Strong's character, they run into Benedict Cumberbatch's character, and then Richard Madden's character, who was also on the Smalls show. God, what was Richard Madden on? Richard Madden. It was a small show with a dragon.
Indie.
Yeah.
I want to say it's one of those fantasy type shows.
Yeah, it was definitely a fantasy.
One of those niche.
Niche.
Yeah.
So niche.
So niche.
Oh my God.
It was so niche.
God. I just want to take it with me in my pocket. It's so niche.
Yeah.
It's just only for me.
So niche. It's really for just you.
Yeah, it was called Dance of Song and Fire.
Yeah, something like that.
Song of Fire and
Ice. A song of something like some kind of element. It's like hydrogen and oxygen. A song of hydrogen and oxygen.
And games.
Or was it a game of Thrones? Game of Monarchs?
Game of Monarchs.
Is that what it was called?
Game of Monarchs.
That's
what it was. Now we know.
Okay, all right.
Richard Madden from Game of Monarchs.
Game of Monarchs. What a niche show.
What a niche show. On HBO. One of those HBO niche shows.
Yeah. I think it's one of the lowest budget shows they've ever done.
The lowest budgets. It was just like $20 per episode, I would say.
Yeah. I think they accomplished a lot on that.
That's just catering.
On that one Benjamin Franklin.
That one Benji.
One binge per episode.
That's why HBO accepted it. They're like, this is so cheap.
I mean, it's pretty niche.
Look, I got the whole season's budget in my wallet. Do you guys just want to do it? Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, they run into these characters. And so basically, the whole time you're just going with them, they run into things that you wouldn't expect. So, for example, they run into this area where it's a mining was a mining cave, not shaft.
Yeah, it was like it was really like their.
It was a mine.
It was their side of the front, which was like they dug out, back in World War I, they used trenches.
Right.
So at first it just looks like a regular trench.
Yeah.
But the Germans, they constructed this whole like quarry area that led into all these underground mines and caverns.
For sure.
And they dug out like sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
Like
a huge bunk.
The British were sleeping outside on the grass.
Right.
And they're sleeping outside under trees and stuff.
Germans
but the Germans built like bunkers.
They were like, all right, BMW squad, you will get the dome set up over here.
They literally had like Audis and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That they're going around in Audis and Mercedes Benzes and stuff.
Just tanks made out of Mercedes.
Like, how did you guys build all this so fast?
Yeah.
Like, they literally built a whole literally like a compound.
Yeah, a compound
out of dirt and rocks.
In the dirt, yeah, and that's what they run into.
Yeah,
and as they're going through this area, they find like, what was that food that was hanging?
There's like some type of food, and like there's a rat.
Yeah,
that was like going from bag to bag of food.
Yeah, and they're just like,
it startled them at first. We're like, oh, it's just a rat. There's no harm here.
Yeah, this thing is totally harmless.
And they're like, should I? Yeah, and this is like the first moment of reprieve, that you get. Like, the tension. Like, there's no Germans here.
Right, they're fine.
Chill for a second. You know what I'm saying? It's just a rat.
It's just a rat.
There's nothing going on here.
Right.
Let's just chill, sit down. They literally sit down. They start looking for food because they already established they haven't been eating right. Like,
they haven't. No.
Like I remember Lance Corporal Schofield. He had like a little piece of bread, and the old boy was like, "Where did you get that?"
Right.
It's like, "Oh yeah, I got this a few days ago. This little piece of rotten bread." You know, like, "Oh dude, give me some." You know, that's all they had. And like the Germans had cans of food, like cans of food,
right? Basically,
and they're just going around looking at like what cans they could salvage. You know, chilling. They're about to feast up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what happened? Now this is an example of great storytelling,
right?
Immersive
and callbacks.
Yeah,
I would say callbacks.
Immersive story, using things and foreshadowing things that surprise you. But
so what happens? Is that Lance Corporal Schofield, he is searching through something. He's like, rummaging through like, I think some shelves or something, right? And suddenly he just stops. He turned and stops, and he said, "Don't move." He says to Blake, "Don't move." It's tripwire. And they show that there's just like this tripwire, just like this super tight wire right by their legs. And they're like, "Don't move. We don't know what this is going to do, and if there are more of them."
Yeah, he just randomly just goes, "Tripwire."
Right.
And the camera pans down.
And we're
see
frozen.
This little wire. You're just like,
right. And they're like,
I froze up. Like,
I froze up.
Trip.
My breath stopped.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, God. Okay.
God. No,
and then I was like, all right, don't move. We're good. And then suddenly,
that rat drops down.
The rat drops down.
And starts dragging the bag of food.
It drags the food. And they're like, no. And boom! Boom! They blow the hell up. And they don't die.
But they fly.
They fly, bro.
What's
my
his
God.
name? Lance Corporal Blake.
Yeah.
He flies and hits the wall.
He hits the wall.
Like hard.
And they probably did a cut there.
Yeah. There was a cut because the explosion was a great way to cut.
Yeah, exactly.
So they cut. He flies into the wall.
And he's like, oh my God.
And they look back.
They're just like shook.
Yeah, all shook up. He
like
gets
a halfway
up,
crook.
starts screaming out Schofield's name, can't find him.
Right.
Starts digging under this rubble pile.
Does he hear
unconscious.
him? I don't know what he's
doing. No, he's just unconscious.
He is unconscious. He just kept looking for him.
Yeah,
he was
kept
just
looking for him.
Moving
He's
rocks.
like, no. And then found him and started digging him out, pulling him up. He was just unconscious and like smacked him back.
Oh, God, I was so scared.
And he woke up.
Dude.
And like there was just rubble and dust everywhere.
Yeah.
And it all got caked in his eyes.
He was completely
caked. He was completely blind. He's like, oh, my eyes.
That was really well done, too. The way they filmed, like how somebody just gets like completely covered in. He like coughed.
He coughed.
Dust and dirt
and rocks came out.
I was like, holy shit. I was like,
he was messed up.
Yeah.
And so they had to get out because the whole cabin, because they were underground, it started
collapsing. Collapse.
It started collapsing, so they had to get out of there. They'd be buried alive.
Running.
So they're like running. They don't know where they're going. They don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like they randomly see this mine shaft. Not they, only a Blake. See it because he's the only one that can see right now.
Because Schofield's
almost
blind.
He almost falls into a giant
like
crevice. A crevice. It goes, oh, is that a drop?
Is that a drop? That's such a deep cut.
Yeah.
Is that a drop?
Is that a drop?
That is a drop.
That is a drop. The camera pans down and shows like, yeah, nigga, that That's a drop.
That's a fucking drop.
And so he's like, okay. And then he's like, okay, we got to jump. And he jumps over Blake, right? But then old boy Schofield's like, I can't see a cavern, a drop.
Jump.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't see. He's like, you have to trust me.
Have you ever jumped without seeing where you were going to land?
No.
Or where you're going to jump over?
No, I'd rather just let fate take me on down. You know what I'm saying? Rather than jump down into it. No, dude. That would be very hard for me to do.
Right. And they're being rushed because of the collapsing.
Yeah. You have a millisecond to really make your decision.
Yeah, so he does it. They jump.
He jumps and he makes it.
They go through the rest of the cave. They get out.
They barely get out. And then they're like, oh.
Yeah, and then they're just like,
wow.
wow.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then, fine. And then they look around and they get a little bit of reprieve because,
And I feel like from this point, from the moment they get out of the cave, I don't know, I didn't notice any cuts, or any points where they could have made a cut, but I feel like from the point that they get out of the cave until that one part that we're going to get to in a second, there was no cuts, I feel.
I didn't see one.
I didn't see or notice
one.
one.
I don't feel one. Because this one was more easier to film because it was basically them kind of talking.
Right. Chatting.
But at this point, Schofield had enough. He's like, dude, why the heck did you have to bring me on this mission?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I almost just got blown up, fell down a crevice.
He almost died.
We almost died like 10 times, and we haven't even seen an enemy yet.
Did you remember that part that he also stabbed his hand?
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that.
Barbed wire?
Yeah, he was just trying to help. Yeah, they literally just got over the trench.
Yeah.
And he tried to help
Was it No
Blake.
Man's Land? That's what it's called?
Yeah. He tried to help Blake.
By pulling a barbed wire fence
and
over.
stabbed his hand on accident.
He punctured his
palm with a bar.
It's
like, oh, I should be good.
He's like, damn.
And then later fell into a dead corpse with the same hand. Into a dead, rotting corpse.
They go into a what's it called? A crater. And he gets startled by a body. And then Blake lands near him and startles him and pushes him. His hand goes into a guy's body's hole.
With rats pouring out of it.
Yeah. And he's like,
oh, did that just happen?
I was like, is this going to die right now from
I was like, so that's death.
Sepsis? Oh my God.
So, I think this is a good part right to segue to the set design real fast.
Oh my God.
Set design, amazing. And these are things that we notice as filmmakers, and just film lovers.
Yeah.
Every aspect of this movie was amazing, but the set design,
just to keep you immersed.
You could feel the dirt between your toes and just the grime and the death. You could smell it.
Yeah,
there's dead bodies everywhere, mud,
the dead body,
decrepit water, rats, destroyed things cobbled together, craters, barbed wire. It was just death and pain everywhere.
Right.
It was just oppressing you. It was like It was like.
Yeah, it's not a colorful film.
No.
But it's not like desaturated like the way Saving Private Ryan was. It's just very normal.
Yeah,
but it's a beautiful shot.
Brown, I would say.
Yeah, like a brown movie.
It was a very brown movie.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of the color that we associate with like World War I.
Yeah.
Brown. Dirt brown.
Mud.
It's interesting.
But
and so then he gets upset because they come out of the cave and he's like, "Why did you bring me on this?"
Yeah,
and he's like, Blake's like,
"I
didn't know what this was about. I grabbed you before they even told us the mission.
Right, I didn't know.
So let's just get on with it.
Right, but he gave him his shot. So he's like,
he does.
Do you want to go back?
He's like,
and
you can go back right now.
Yeah, old boy Schofield,
which is kind of funny. It's like, go back now
through the cavern that just collapsed.
And then through all the mud and dead bodies in no man's land, go back through all
by
of
yourself.
That. By yourself at that.
Yeah, like there's really no turning back at this point.
Right.
But,
and he gave him water to wash his face, so he could see now.
But like Blake felt guilty though, like he felt bad because it's like, man, like this is bad. You almost just died like 5 times right there.
Right.
You haven't even seen an enemy yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, man, this is just gonna get worse.
Yeah. And so he lets him. He gives him the chance.
But he doesn't take it, and he goes, like, man, let's go. Let's keep going.
Let's just keep it going. Right.
So then, like you said, there's that stretch of it's literally one take for like 10, 15 minutes.
And they're just talking. They're kind of just chatting. Blake's telling him a funny story.
Pretty funny story.
About one of the soldiers or whatever.
Yeah, they're just going over their past. There's a little bit of time of character development.
Yeah, they go through this forest. And then, this sequence I love, is they just stop after they get through this clearing. They see these planes,
these 2 jets,
and I don't remember if they are the British ones, the English
ones. They're British.
They are,
yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, that's. He's like, wait, are those ours? And yeah, those are ours.
Okay.
And they just kind of fly over. They're doing like a recon.
Yeah. And you just see them in the distance, really.
Yeah.
You know, we stick with them, and it's all one take. And as they're walking, we see them in the distance, just kind of like fly by or whatever. And then they get to a house. They get to like a little farm, and they're making sure that there's nobody there.
Yeah, they're searching it out. They find like a little like a cow that got. I think the cow was already dead, right? No, the cow was alive, and so he saw the live cow. Was like, there should be milk around.
Yeah, and they looked
around, saw that milk. Was like,
yeah.
give me that milk. Give me that milk.
Give me that milk. And so what he does is just grab the udders from the cow and just. Yep, exactly. That's what he does. He just starts going at it. He's like, all right, forget the mission.
I love that sound effect. I could do that for the rest of the podcast. Welcome to Epic the Podcast.
Thank you for joining us. That's it.
See you next time.
See you next time.
On Nipple Suckers.
And so they get the milk, and they hear the planes, those two planes from earlier, they hear them go by, and then they basically see a dogfight commence. A German airplane, I forget, there was a name for them, I forget. They basically have this dogfight with those two British English airplanes that we all saw earlier. And so as they're having a dogfight, the German plane starts to go down, smoking, right? It gets shot. It starts smoking, and they're like, oh, where'd it go? And so they're just watching from far away. And then suddenly the plane comes over the horizon.
Yeah, over the horizon. And it's coming barreling right at them.
Yeah,
on fire.
On fire. Right.
Coming straight
they're
at
like,
them.
whoa! They start running, right?
Yeah, you probably saw that shot on the trailer.
Yeah, that's right. And then you see them, they jump out, basically out of the way as the plane crashes behind them. So the plane's on fire.
All in one take. Unbelievable.
I did notice, or I saw a video afterwards that shows where they cut right there.
Okay,
it was
really?
after the crash.
After the crash, yeah.
That's when it cuts.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh man, that was seamless though.
Yeah,
it's so seamless. But anyway, so they cut right there. Yeah, whatever. They go check the pilot, and we didn't know at the time, but it was a German.
No. You know it's a German. Because,
I didn't remember that
because remember they established that the two were theirs. And so you saw two fighting one.
I couldn't tell which one was which at the time.
Yeah,
that's probably me.
It was basically 2v1 because there were two flying with each other.
Right.
Chasing one.
That's
and then that one got hit.
Yeah.
So you knew it was a German coming down from the beginning.
Right. And so this pilot's, he's alive. He's on fire almost, like his legs are on fire.
Yeah, he's screaming, dude.
And so they, these guys are they're good guys. They're naive, I guess. Inexperienced.
Yeah, they're young.
They're young.
Super young. They're like 18.
Yeah, like 18,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah.
And it's like, dude, you just survived a plane crash. This guy is screaming and on fire.
Right. They're like...
You don't see him as a threat.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, you instinctively want to save lives.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And so they pull him out of the wreckage.
And he's still screaming.
His legs are on fire.
Yeah, they put the fire out.
Yeah,
and then he's screaming in agony.
And he's just
then Blake's like, no. First Schofield's like, dude, he looks at Blake like, dude, we should put him out of his misery right now.
And Blake's like,
what? He's like, no. He's like, dude, you need some water. Go give him some water.
Yeah.
And then he looks over, and there's a little, one of those little crank wells.
Yeah, the crank wells. The old school for all you old school crank wellers.
All you crank wellers out there. You're familiar with those crank wells.
The crank wells.
The crank wells of circa 1907.
Plus 10 years.
Plus 10.
Yeah, and so we follow him as he's going to get the water.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, as he's pumping water,
you just hear a scream.
No!
Yeah.
He's like, no, stop. What? No.
And then he looks up, like, and then the camera pans, and you just see a big-ass knife pulled out of his stomach.
Of Blake's stomach.
Yeah.
Blake just got stabbed in the tummy.
Yeah, you're just like...
By the German.
Wait. And it was it was far away enough to where it didn't yet look like it was fatal.
Right.
It was just like, oh, dang, he got stabbed a little bit. And that knife looked kind of long, didn't it? Like, it was
a quick cut.
What kind of knife was that? That knife was designed for murder.
Schofield immediately takes his rifle.
He's like, no.
And
bangs
shoots
him
the
out.
Nazi.
Bangs him out.
He has to shoot twice.
Yeah, two shots.
Like 2 shots.
To the core, done.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
One in the chest, 2 in the computer almost.
Then runs over. And at first, Blake's just like, dang, what just happened?
He's like,
this boy just like,
what?
dang.
Yeah, he was like...
At first, you're like, dang, dude, don't ever do that again because you're like, dude, like, why were you trying to help this guy?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Man, dude, like,
Yeah.
Because his guard was down. He was literally trying to help this guy. But
Right.
the Germans, like...
It's such a tough situation
Yeah,
right there.
dude.
It's like you have to be like almost... For him to have survived that, he should have basically...
Well, see, war over time changes you.
Right. Yeah, that's
the
thing.
They weren't in it
They
enough
weren't in
to
it
change.
enough.
So
No.
if you after you see that a few times,
Right.
you start learning. Like,
Yeah. You're like,
man,
no,
anyone I
just get rid of
see
them.
is on the left
Yeah.
side is just dead. Like,
Yeah.
It starts becoming about more survival.
Right.
War is designed to take away your humanity.
Your humanity.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
That's
your
really
human
kind of what I
instincts.
think you have to do
Yeah.
to survive.
Yeah.
Because
You have
otherwise,
to.
how are you going to take a life?
The more human you are in war, you're done.
You're done. Yeah.
By the end of the war, there's not
Which
a lot of
is
humans
sad.
left. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is really sad.
At least not now on the ground.
And so he gets stabbed
Mm-hmm.
because, he was trying to help this guy out.
Right.
And this guy was just trying to continue the war, basically, I
Yeah.
guess, the Nazi.
Yeah.
And so, actually, no, they weren't Nazis at that time.
Yeah, they
were
weren't
just
Nazis.
Germans.
They were just
Germans.
Germans.
Yeah. My mistake. I'm sorry. Buffs. Historians.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Blake's slowly noticing that he's starting to bleed a lot. And so Schofield's like,
Oh, yeah,
God,
we
okay.
should. All right, hold this.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here. And
Right.
then he tries to move him, and
He
every
tries to,
move is
yeah.
like, oh,
He's-
just agonizing pain.
That sounds...
And-
I felt pain,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. And at first, it looked like he could. Like, okay, I think he can survive this because it
Yeah.
didn't look that bad.
Right.
But like every time he moved him, all of a sudden, like his shirt and all of his uniform started
Everything
getting more and more
started
deep,
wet
dark,
blood.
wet, red.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
that's not looking good. Like he's
No.
leaking pretty hard, pretty fast, and you're still like, okay. Just put some pressure on that real quick,
Yeah.
and just let's get that bandage wrapped up.
Right.
But then, like one more move, and all of a sudden, like his entire lower body was
Like, just
head
collapsed.
to toe. He
Yeah.
fell and it's all drenched.
All
And, like
drenched.
this dude,
Yeah.
that's a
He's like, I can't
that's-
go.
yeah,
He was
that's
trying to
bad.
take him to like,
Yeah.
I think like an infirmary camp or something like that. or
just
whatever.
trying to get him looked at.
Yeah, basically.
But he
And
couldn't even move.
So did he move, like open his shirt up? I can't remember if he did. Like to like check the wound. I can't remember if he did that or not.
I don't. I think he just like looked down and you saw the puncture area because that's where all the blood was coming out.
It was just a ton of blood.
Yeah, and he just said, "Here, hold right here."
And then as they're talking slowly,
And
They're
dude,
just
he
like-
fell.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you could just see. Oh, he was so pale.
he was turning really pale.
I don't know how they did that in one take.
I don't get it.
Because he went from like normal color to pale.
Yeah.
I guess that might have been color correction.
Yeah, maybe CG
Or something because you could see the life draining.
It
from
was
him.
very realistic.
And at this point is when I was like, he's not gonna make it.
yeah,
And I was
basically.
like, I can't believe.
Yeah,
that's
he
how
started
it's gonna
panicking
go.
too.
Yeah, he started panicking
because he was like, "Am I dying?"
Yeah, and then he kind of lost consciousness for a second. And
Right,
after that,
right.
But then he came back.
Right.
It was so realistic.
He came back and he was thinking. What did he say? He said
was
something
like-
that had nothing to do with with what they were doing there.
I
Right?
think he brought up his mom.
He brought up his mom, but he also said like, "What the hell happened?" He's like, "Am I bleeding or something?" Like that? He just like re-realized
he
it or
came
something
back
like
to
that.
consciousness and said, "Man, what happened?"
Yeah.
And then old boy had to remind him he got stabbed by the
Right,
German.
right.
And he's
right.
like, "Dang!" And he's like,
Yeah. It's just the sad part.
He's like, "Promise me, you know." He said, "Promise me, you know the way to get to his
where
brother."
the brother.
And,
that puts
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Promise me, you know how to finish this mission.
Right.
And then he promised him.
Yep.
And then he was gone.
And he told him, he's like, "Tell my mom that I was
yeah,
brave.
Yeah, tell my mom
that
I
I
wasn't afraid.
scared." Or so. Yeah.
He's like,
I wasn't
"Yep, I
afraid."
got you."
Yep.
And then he was gone.
He was a goner.
And then he just sitting there.
And we're just like, what?
Like, what? And this is like only halfway through the
Probably
movie.
halfway,
There's a
maybe.
whole halfway he's got to go by himself.
By himself,
now.
yeah. And
Through
this
enemy
is a-
territory.
Yeah, and this is a good point, a turning point for the character.
Mm-hmm. Because now he's super motivated.
Now he's super motivated.
Super motivated.
He didn't want really.
At
to go
first, he
at
didn't
all.
really want to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's like, oh,
Now
y'all,
it's like-
y'all done took my boy like this?
Right, exactly.
Like, okay.
And he was like, now
Right.
I have all this responsibility on me right now.
Right.
I have to step up. And so basically,
Right. And it was more for him
right.
and his brother and his family than even for that 1,600 men. You
For
know what I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure, yeah.
Even though
There's more connection,
that's
yeah.
a pretty good,
That's a huge-
secondary prize,
Yeah.
saving 1,600 lives.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the real true motivation wasn't even that.
Yeah,
Because
no.
you don't know these dudes. You know what I'm
Right. You
saying?
only know-
Even though, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, saving 1,600 lives is great.
Right.
But is it worth my life, though?
Is it worth my life?
Is it truly worth my... Do I have to die?
Right.
So, but having that personal connection, like,
Yeah.
man, my boy just got,
Right.
and he wants me to save his brother.
Right.
and
Yeah.
also I get to save these 1,600.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and try really hard.
Right.
You know
and
what I'm
so
saying?
he basically continues the rest of the film by himself. And
Right.
so he gets picked up by like his own people, just a different what are they called? Battalion.
Yeah, this
squad
random
or whatever,
battalion
just
comes. So
random.
if he could have just survived a little bit longer, they would have
man,
been
they
there.
might have. Yeah, they might
But
have
this
had, like,
this
a medic or
other
something.
British battalion were they British or American?
They were British because
Okay.
Mark Strong's
Okay, yeah,
character
okay,
was
okay.
the head of that.
Okay,
one.
another-
Yeah, they were all English, I think. In this,
Okay,
base.
there was a British battalion that came through the town and
like a caravan.
said, "Hey son,
Hey, son.
what you doing there?" Like, "Oh, it looks like your best friend just died." Well,
That sucks.
that sucks. Come with me. And like started taking them, basically Schofield updated them on the mission where he needed to go, and said, "Okay, we can take you pretty close to that destination." So he gets in the truck, and basically, what happened then? They were on the truck.
They were on the truck and they run into like a tree that's off the covering the road.
Yeah, so basically this is a time for him to like talk with other people.
Yeah.
And like he basically was just telling the other soldiers like, yeah, I'm on a mission. They're trying to get to know him a little bit.
Right.
And basically, he says what he has to do, and they're like, man, you'll never make it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you'll never make it over there. There's
To
Germans
there.
everywhere.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
looks at him and goes, oh, I'll make it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll make it.
And he looks dead at his eyes.
Right,
Like, dude,
right.
shut up.
Yeah,
I'll make
basically,
it.
you should
And he shut up too. He looked at it and was like, okay.
Yep.
Okay, okay. And then like the truck.
I think he was actually above them in rank too, because
Yeah.
he was Lance Corporal. I don't
Yeah.
feel like the other guys were like,
yeah,
they were just
these were just guys.
yeah, they were just grunts.
Yeah, and so
Grunts.
the truck they were in hit like a huge mud puddle.
Like a pothole,
yeah,
essentially made of
pothole.
mud.
And it stopped the truck, and like
Yeah.
no one in the truck was getting out to help.
Right.
Old boy Schofield jumped out of that truck and started trying to push it. Like, all right, let's go. And like no one would get out. He's like, everyone get out, help me push. And they were
Right.
like really slow to do it.
Right.
And they were literally like,
They were like, all right, well, what's
Like-
it called? Keep pushing.
yeah, keep pushing.
And
man.
then
Like,
they all
please.
suddenly...
Yeah, he was like, please, I have to do this.
Yeah, they saw how much he
Yeah.
wanted to push,
Right.
but even by himself,
Right.
the truck to get out of this mud hole.
Uh-huh.
That they're like, all right, guys,
Right.
let's help him out.
Right, like here you can
Kinda
see
reluctantly.
this man wants to do nothing more than to single-handedly go into enemy territory
Yeah.
and do this mission. And
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
just respects the hell out of it.
Right, basically, yeah.
Comes down, helps him move the truck.
Right.
And then the truck only gets to go a little bit more.
It only goes like maybe 5 minutes.
Right,
Maybe
and then the
that,
bridge is
whatever.
out, of course.
And then the bridge is out, so they can't cross.
But
So
he
they
has to keep going.
But
He's
he has to
like,
go
I gotta
through
go.
that area, yeah.
So he literally goes
gets
through
off the whole thing.
enemy territory.
Enemy territory.
By himself.
He goes across this bridge.
And you're
gets
like,
shot at.
right, instantly.
Instantly.
Because you're still kind of like, oh, he has a little break here.
Right, and he's like doing like
You're not
this
ready.
intricate like tightrope
Yeah, he's
walk
like, right,
on
across
a bridge.
river, on a broken, busted bridge.
And then suddenly you're like,
oh, a sniper is, of course, there.
Dude.
Just trying to snipe him out.
Right.
Oh, and this is another great time to segue real quick. The music.
Oh,
The music in this film is amazing. And it
music-
swelled and came down with the tension.
It was never distracted.
No, it was in the background, but it was perfectly fitting to
By
just
Thomas
the flow.
Newman.
Oh,
Thomas Newman
man.
did a great job in that
Brilliant.
film.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. For
And the
a
whole
brilliant
Newman
score.
family.
The whole Newman family. You know?
The Paul,
Yeah, good old Paul Newman.
good old Paul Newman. He's
Don't forget about Gina Newman.
Gina.
And-
I call her Big G.
Yeah. And good old Uncle Newman.
Uncle Newman.
Yeah.
His first name is Neuman, so it's not to be confused
It's not
with his
the
last
exact
name.
same.
Yeah,
It's Newman.
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 There we go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's how you pronounce
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, he's the new. That's what we call him.
Yeah.
Back in the
Little New.
no. On the streets, we call him that. This bird is really high up. That's like a falcon or something.
Free
That thing
Nunu.
is-
Anyway.
Free Nunu.
Yeah, man. So he's getting banged out already, and
He basically he shoots the
one-on-one
sniper.
combat. Yeah.
He shoots the sniper,
Uh-huh.
goes up to check,
Yep.
and to confirm the kill, basically. Mm-hmm. And he shoots him, but he gets shot at the same time.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the helmet,
Right.
And so he falls back,
Yeah, and gets knocked out.
for like
It snaps.
what 6
It
hours?
was a few
maybe?
hours.
It was a couple
yeah.
hours, I think.
Because it's still day, and
Yeah.
then when he wakes up, it's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
and in that amount of time,
Yeah.
a whole new German wave came
Right.
in through the town.
To that new town that
so he
was
wakes
just
up at
chilling.
night with all these flares going off, because the Germans are shooting up flares
to
light up the area so they can come through.
Yeah.
So he's like, I gotta move now.
Right,
and
basically.
He starts sneaking out. He's like trying to find the shadows.
Yeah.
And this is where Deacons, I don't know how they did this. They destroy this.
Oh my God.
The lighting.
Yeah.
Dude.
Those weren't actual flares, by the way. Did you know that? They used lights.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't real flares, but they were supposed to be.
You're right.
So yeah, they used lights and probably moved them around.
Yeah,
things
exactly.
to make that.
They almost had they had a rail system. I was watching this behind the scenes thing. They had a rail, with basically essentially what would be a flare, almost I guess you could put a firework on there, and then they just roll it on the rail in the path of the thing as if it was being shot. So the lighting changes. So you basically have this environment where the shadows are just constantly changing and shifting and moving fast, and you're like, oh my God, I have nowhere to hide because that shadow is no longer there.
Exactly.
I'm completely exposed right now.
Right.
That was terrifying.
And
I was like, how is he going to do this?
Right?
Oh my God.
And then I think a random German comes out of the fog.
Yeah.
And you don't know it's a German yet. I remember this is one of my favorite shots.
Yeah, when they're by the burning church.
Right. There's a burning church, and you're looking at it, and it looks beautiful almost.
Right.
In an eerie way.
In a weird way.
And out of the fog comes
you
this
see a person
figure just walking towards
and he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's nonchalant.
Yeah.
And you look over, and you're like, and this is one of those great. This is another great thing about this movie because you're constantly like, "What would I do here?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the whole movie is what would I do?
Because you have no time to think. It's
right.
like, what would I do right here?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, do I shoot this dude right now?
Yeah.
Or do I
Maybe
wait
kill
and
an
see?
English commander or whatever.
Who is this? Because you don't know if it's German or not yet.
Right. Exactly.
And all of a sudden, the figure just pulls out a gun and starts banging at him.
Right.
And
he's
you're
like,
oh, yeah, it was German.
It was German. Starts running.
He starts running, dude.
Booking it.
Dips off, right?
Loses them somehow.
Loses them. Stumbles into this
home.
home. It's destroyed home with a young girl and a baby.
That's not even hers.
It's not even
She's
her
just taking
baby.
care of this little
they have
infant.
no food or water.
Right.
And so
this is like a moment for us to catch our breath, basically.
Catch our breath.
They talk a little bit.
Schofield reveals his character.
Yeah.
Gives her some food and dude, this baby needs milk.
And the baby's like, and the lady's like, yo.
This
baby needs milk. And the baby's like, what did the baby say? The baby's like, yo, man.
yo, bro.
Hey, man.
I need some milk,
Pull down your shirt, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Give me some.
You got that milk?
Give me some milk, bro.
Give me a nipple.
Give me a little. And he's like, baby, no.
And
he's like, you want some crack? And so he
luckily... so Schofield had that milk from the town, remember? And this another
huge callback.
Another example of just great foreshadowing. Using things.
Right.
Revealing things early to,
and it's
pay them off later.
It's super well done because it's not like foreshadowing when they usually show you
specific. This is
shot,
definitely going to be used.
Yeah,
you didn't know that milk is going to have a huge payoff.
At all.
Right.
And so he luckily gives this lady the milk, and she's like,
so basically save both their lives.
Save both of those lives. He's like, wow, I luckily had this perfect milk.
Yeah.
And now he gives them the milk, and he's like, well, I gotta dip.
Yeah, I gotta go, girl.
It's daylight.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's too dangerous. She's like, well, I got no choice.
Gotta go, girl.
He starts going.
Right.
He runs into these two Germans that
because keep in mind, it's a time-sensitive mission. I don't know if you emphasized.
Right.
It's extremely time-sensitive.
Yeah,
and
by noon or something they're supposed to get there
and
or
he
something?
heard the church bell saying, okay, it's morning now.
Yeah, which is like 6 a.m.
I gotta go,
Yeah, something like that.
And so he starts sneaking out, and then all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 more Germans. They see him and start popping off.
Yeah.
Oh no! Even before that,
he
was
that fight.
Sneaking up.
Yeah, that's
so
when he sneaks up on those two dudes.
He saw a drunk German come out all stumbling. He's like, okay, I'm gonna sneak around this guy, and he's trying to sneak, and a non-drunk German comes up randomly on the side,
what?
Who are you?
and so he covers his mouth. They get into a struggle.
Yeah.
He eventually takes, overpowers him, kills him. Right. The drunk German starts coming back, and he's like, oh God, oh God. He starts grabbing whatever he's got, and he just runs past him.
Kills that guy, chokes him out. It takes a while.
Yeah.
And by the time the drunk German can figure out what the heck was going on, he just runs through him, starts running. And he doesn't have any ammo.
No weapon, I don't think.
No weapon.
He's just running.
Booking it.
And then they all start noticing him.
Yeah, they're like, oh God, get that dude, get that guy.
And he's like, and the music, dude. The music at this point was so good, dude.
He's just running, dude.
So good, dude.
Trying to complete this mission.
He's going through he's trying to zigzag, serpentine around this wrecked town.
Yeah, the whole town's bombed out.
And he's just running. He gets to this point. I don't know if you knew this. I know
Yeah.
that the girl that he was with the baby.
Well, he said where you're trying to go is downriver.
Downriver, yeah.
So he sees the river,
finds the river,
jumps
in the river.
One take,
goes down like some rocky areas. He hits like a rock at one point. Goes down a waterfall.
Falls on a waterfall.
He gets to this area where he's just floating. He starts sleeping on the log because he's
Dude,
so tired,
so fatigued,
so tired.
He's almost ready to give it all up.
Yeah, he was
because
like
he falls asleep and almost starts drowning.
Yeah,
himself.
and then he wakes up. He's like, "Oh my
wakes
god!"
up because he almost literally just died. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and then he slows down and he's like, "All right, got to keep going." He gets like his second wind or fifth wind. I don't know what wind he's on at this point.
Crawls out of the river over a bunch of dead bodies.
Dead floating bodies. Dude just breaks.
Yeah.
He starts crying.
Yeah.
He I think he almost threw up, but he's crying because of just how fucking stressful this whole thing is.
Yeah.
He eventually walks a little bit and he starts to hear singing. Mm-hmm. And what is this singing?
He just follows the sound of the singing, and then you start seeing these soldiers. And luckily, they're British soldiers.
Yeah, listening to this one soldier sing.
One guy singing this beautiful little melody.
Beautiful little Pippin from the Lord of the Rings
This
melody.
little jam, I like to call it.
A little jam.
Yeah.
That's right. You're bringing that back.
Bringing
you
that
see
back.
how that foreshadowing?
Yeah.
How we snuck that in?
Yep. And
That's how
comedy
you do it.
does come in threes.
Comedy does come in threes.
So I can never say that word. One more time.
One more time. Oh, no, that was the third, wasn't it?
Was that the third time?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I think so.
I didn't want to risk it. I said it the first time, which established it. I said it the second time for the joke. And then that was the callback. That was the third time.
So it's the third time. So never say that again.
If I do, it's all over. All right.
So they run into this battalion, and he sits there just catching his breath.
Yeah.
And then the people, after the guy's done singing, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing? Who are you?"
Like, who are you? He's like, I'm looking for this certain battalion.
Yeah.
And they're like,
That's us.
That's us.
Yeah.
He's like,
we're like, "Oh my god, thank God."
Where's your leading commander?
Right, where's the leading commander?
And of course, he's like 100 miles.
Super easy.
Yeah,
he can't just go to his office.
Yeah.
Be like, "Oh yeah, take down this hall, third floor to the right."
Run down.
He has to find this human person.
Yeah, through a huge
battalion. So remember,
1,600 men. So there's the 1,600 men are here,
and it's not like he's the only leader, the only
right.
commander.
There's multiple
there's
commanders.
multiple like sub commanders and captains and generals,
and they're all like, "What? What are you saying?"
Like,
and they're about to start the
first wave. I think.
Yeah, they're about to start the first wave of the attack that he has to call off.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally made it right on time.
He's running in like the most realistically fatigued way. You know that way that you walk?
Yeah.
When you're just like completely
He's
broken?
literally only moving on pure will.
Right.
He has no energy.
No energy.
No
It was
strength.
so well acted.
Like his body is only moving on
bro.
pure will and adrenaline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Nothing else is powering.
Nothing. He gets to like this little section where he finds out where he's supposed to go, and the commander of that next wave right there. He's like, "Well, don't go there. You know,
Right.
It's like you got to go 1,000 meters this way." Or whatever.
Right. He's like,
and
nope.
he's like, "Well, this is the only way." So he goes out.
He runs through.
He goes out into the no man's land part.
Yeah.
Basically, he starts
where the
running.
Germans are banging.
Yeah, he
Through
starts
the first wave.
running. The first wave starts going
way.
behind him. Yeah,
Oh, dude.
They start running behind him. He's getting bombarded
by
from
mortar
all
fire.
over. Yeah, by mortar fire. He's just running, booking it to the entire field.
And this is
People
that
are
shot in the
blowing
trailer
up.
that really got us. Like, dude, that shot is dope.
Yeah.
The one take
just
of him
running back.
rolling
It's
through
such a great shot.
through a battalion.
So great.
As they're going across.
Music
mortars,
swelling. You're
music
like
swelling.
so heroic.
You can see the fatigue on him.
Oh my god.
You're just like, please make it. Like
Right.
anyone, people are running into him. He's falling down.
Yeah.
One take.
It's so good, dude.
So
So
epic.
good. He gets to the point. He gets to where they're supposed to be. They don't let him in because they're just like, "Get back! This isn't your meeting or whatever."
Right, like, what are you doing here?
Like, get out of here, boy.
Yeah, this
And
was
so,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
that was his his
little cameo.
he's the one that he's supposed to reach.
Yeah.
And so basically, he basically like muscles his way in. Essentially, he's like, "You have to stop." And he brings out the letter that they gave him to present, so they believe him.
Yep.
And he makes him. He forces him to read. He has to like beg him to almost in a way. He has to tell him like 5 times. He's like, "You're walking into a trap. Stop. Just
General
take a minute."
So literally told me to come here.
Literally, yeah. He's
I'm going through enemy lines.
Right. I was like, dude, does he know like what he just went through just to get to that point?
He doesn't.
It's like, man, come on. And so eventually he lets him basically he lets him, he reads the letter, and he stops the second wave at that point?
He stops the second wave
the
and
first
calls
wave
back the first wave.
Calls back the first wave.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
And basically saves a bunch of lives.
Yeah, he saves a bunch of lives. He completes that part.
Yeah.
And then he has to go find the brother.
He finds his brother.
Yeah.
He has to locate him. He's like, dude.
And this whole time you're going through like wounded soldier.
Yeah, people coming back all messed up.
Yeah.
They're doing surgery.
Right.
And it's like, man, if he's alive, he'll be over there,
Right.
And he's looking at dead bodies, seeing
he's just calling out
his name, can't find him. And he looked through everyone. He's like, man, I can't find him. I think he's gone.
Right.
And then he hears a voice.
Yeah. How did he? I forget how he found him right there. I can't remember.
Well, he heard his voice. Like randomly, there was some guy giving orders, and this was Richard Madden's character. So he's a lieutenant. So he's giving orders.
Right.
So he's randomly giving orders. He was the first guy that gave it around. Like, you over there, do this, blah blah blah. And he looks over and it's him. And he's like, "Are you?"
Blake's brother. Yeah. I forgot his name.
Lieutenant Blake.
Lieutenant Blake. Yes. Yeah.
And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Blake."
Yeah.
And then basically tells him the news. Richard Madden does really well with this scene.
Dude, so well.
Yeah.
He's happy.
Yeah, he's happy
to hear the news. He goes through the emotion
news.
of happiness to be
And
like,
then
oh,
pure
you're
sad.
here? So you know my brother.
Yeah.
He's like, where is he?
Yeah. Where is that?
He has to tell him that he didn't make it.
He didn't make it. And then he starts crying.
He gives him his watch, like Blake's watch, and
Mm-hmm.
like his rings. And Richard Madden just does like, he just takes us to school. He does a fucking clinic on acting right here.
Absolutely.
He just goes and just starts breaking down, just starts crying, and then he's trying to like not cry too much.
And then Schofield basically told him like he was a good man,
Right? Yeah.
because he basically died because he was a good man. He was being good, and
Right, exactly.
He wanted to save you pretty much.
Yeah.
Like everything he did was because he was good.
Right.
And that, and then he asked, is it all right if I write your mother?
Write your mother, right.
Because his last request was to tell my mom that,
that he wasn't afraid.
So he checked off all the boxes.
Yeah, he literally
what I'm
did. It was like a video game almost,
Yeah,
like go
yeah.
through like the quest list.
Yeah,
like,
he's
I
like,
got this
check,
done,
check.
next done.
I did the side quest.
I did the side quest.
I did the
That was
optional.
an
I did the
optional
optional. I
side
did the
quest.
optional
Exactly.
side quest.
An optional side
Yes,
quest.
I
And he
nailed the
completed
optional.
it. They were like 100%
100% achievement. You've done it.
You've done it.
Now you get to create a new character and do it all over again.
That's what he did. And so and then he basically just like walks slowly as everyone else is doing their stuff. He walks over to this tree that's just chilling,
and
looking at this
masterfully
sunset kind of thing. Or
matched
sunrise.
up to the first shot,
Right? Yeah.
of him sleeping outside under a tree, again.
Right, with Blake, and when they first started,
except Blake wasn't there,
right, and so then,
and just kind of reminiscing, like,
and he's just chilling there, sitting,
I went from tree to tree
to tree in different areas, completed the most important mission of his life, probably, and then he just closes his eyes and falls asleep, I guess, just to take a nap, and that's when the movie ends, and we were like, wow,
one take,
bro,
all that happened, all that hour of whatever we just were talking, one take,
right.
All that emotion, highs and lows, one take, beautifully masterful set design,
effectively shot,
epic music, perfectly everything,
the acting,
lighting.
The acting was so realistic. It wasn't over dramatic.
Oh man,
it wasn't like hammy.
No, it was all real.
Everyone was on point,
and all the events were like random, realistic events.
Right.
It was all shot perfectly,
and that's what made them so much more like natural. The way that things happen is because it was all one take. Because it wasn't like setting up like, all right, we're in this location now. It's like we're just finding out these new locations and new experiences and new situations as they're finding out.
Right.
So we feel what they're feeling, which
which
is genius. It was so good.
I mean, I remember the first word I said after the credits started rolling.
We're like,
I looked over you and I said masterpiece.
Masterpiece, yeah.
So, I don't know. Are we going to do a rating system?
Nah, I
You know what I'm saying?
so. We either liked it or we
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. It's like we either call it trash, it was cool, or masterpiece,
right? Or it
was
a great
good,
movie,
great,
whatever,
good, great, masterpiece, trash, okay,
yeah.
Or Uptown Girls.
Just so you know, Uptown Girls is the lowest rating we're gonna give it.
Yes.
If we call Uptown Girls sequel, this movie was Uptown Girls 3.
Oh,
we're like, holy shit,
that is bad. That's real bad. Anything Uptown Girls is our lowest rating. So that's pretty much our rating scale there.
Yep.
Yeah, Uptown Girls, bad.
Yep.
Decent.
Yep.
Good. Great.
Passable.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, masterpiece. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that was pretty good. So yeah, I would definitely call this movie a masterpiece. Not just because of like it was just everything was on point. Like just the
all aspects.
Yeah, the ovaries that it took to make this movie.
Oh man,
dude,
just the big old ovaries, massive
just to
ovaries.
Take this like
bulging,
hulking, sagging.
Boy, they are
ovaries.
fertile. They're ready.
They were so
eager,
ovarian to make this movie, bro.
Eager to be fertilized.
Eager. Speaking of eager,
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's what that movie was about, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, so definitely go out and see it.
Yeah, I hope people really go see it. Like I know it got the best picture or best drama Golden Globe 2 days ago, so that's great.
I'm sure it's going to win some Oscars.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
at least one.
Hopefully.
And that movie was definitely made for the movie theater. I thought.
Yeah,
like it's still going to be
effective. You got to
see
see it in theater.
You really do. It's
the sound,
so much more effective.
The epicness. Yeah, I'm so glad we saw it.
I'm so glad we saw it.
Definitely go see it in theaters.
We're very lucky we saw it. If you're in Chicago,
best screen, best sound system you can do.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Definitely don't wait for it to come out on Netflix or something because you need to see it in theaters.
Yeah, it's
so great. It's just 10 out of 10. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna say that, but I'm not. It's not a rating system. Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
masterpiece.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing that I would change.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was thinking like if there were any weaknesses or anything like that to it. They didn't have time.
Yeah,
there was no time for them to have any weaknesses.
I loved that because there was such a sense of urgency.
Yeah,
you didn't have time for exposition.
Right, exactly.
Like, you need to know.
That's the thing. Yeah. I feel like the whole drive of the movie it didn't allow for weaknesses to creep up, like where they have to sit and explain something. Right, they didn't have that.
Nothing else mattered but the mission, and that was in line with the story.
Right.
So you don't have to explain everything.
Right,
have a backstory.
Right.
If it doesn't matter to the story.
Right.
Only thing that mattered to the story was them getting to point A to B and saving his brother and those people.
It's a simple concept.
Masterfully done. In the most creative way possible. With
every possible obstacle in their way.
And the movie would have been great even without the one take aspect. Remember? Because if they would have kept the same cinematography and just did cuts,
it would have been just like a great movie. It would have been damn, that was movie. A really great good movie.
But the fact that it was one take, it elevated it.
Yeah, in terms of the filmmaking, the story, the tension. Yeah, it wasn't just to show off that they could do it. It really made it.
It made
sense.
Story. It made sense to the story.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just a masterpiece, all levels.
Yep, and
so
I want to see it again.
That's our first review, man.
That's our first review for
the decade.
For a movie
about
the end of 2019, the 2010s. Yeah, that's a
great review to start the decade.
Yeah,
about a movie that takes place in the year 1917,
and that came out in Chicago in the last decade, but hasn't come out in the rest of the United States. And
take that, Houston!
So take that, Houston!
we have such a vendetta against Houston for some reason.
What's it called?
I'm very Houston biased.
There's no foundation for it. Unfounded.
No. Yeah, it's an unfounded stereotype. Unfounded bias.
Unfounded biases. Yeah, and that's what that movie is about, and it was fantastic. It was so good. I loved it. And then basically it motivates us to
really grind on this filmmaking
to just try to raise the bar because they raised the bar with this.
Yeah, it's tough to make standard stuff when you know people are out there making stuff like that.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god.
So
for next episode, what do you want to do? Maybe The Lighthouse?
I don't know. Oh, Lighthouse was a good film to review.
That was a good one to review.
I can't think of anything else. We could do Cats.
Oh, we could do Cats.
Let's go
watch Cats.
Yeah, let's go watch Cats.
Let's go watch Cats.
Go check Cats out.
Cats.
Good old Cats. Good old Cats. Good old Cats. I've heard nothing but great things.
You know what? It's the movie of the week.
Definitely movie of the week.
Definitely movie of
the week. If not the day.
If not the day. At least the day. At minimum the day.
You think I got less time?
Yeah, it became less and less.
Time.
It's the best movie that came out today.
Yes.
But it didn't come out today. It came out several weeks ago. But we should go watch Cats and just...
Yeah.
I kind of almost want to do that. Really? In a sadistic, masochistic kind of way. And just be like, well, now we could definitely talk about this.
We could definitely give our first Uptown Girls rating of the year.
We need to balance a masterpiece
with an Uptown.
But we don't want to watch a crappy-ass movie to start the decade off here. Oh God. So yeah, that's what basically that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
So.
But anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast. First episode.
The podcast, the first episode.
Epic, the podcast.
Yeah.
Our guest.
Let us know if you liked it.
And if you want to be a guest.
Yeah.
You know?
We'd love to have you on the show.
We love opinions.
Yeah, and if we don't like your opinion, we'll just kill you.
Yeah, we'll throw you out this window.
Yeah, you know.
28 floor drop.
floors. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
It's a, decent way to die.
I think it's a
It's
deal.
quick.
It's quick. You get a great view.
Yeah, great view on the way down.
Great wind in your hair effect.
You know?
So,
You can,
you might land on a car.
What's to lose?
What's to lose? Nothing to lose. If we don't like you, just be likable.
Just be likable. Okay? Is that too much to
Just
ask?
make people like you.
Man.
God.
Jeez.
People. So demanding.
Man.
We're just like, man, what's wrong with them? It's people.
Oh, but yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do with all these people. I had to do it, but yeah.
If you know that callback, that reference, we love you even more.
Yeah,
All right.
you should be a guest. So, thanks for watching.
Yep.
And definitely watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this.
Yeah, thanks for watching this unwatchable podcast. This unviewable, only listenable podcast.
Thanks for viewing with your ears.
Viewing with
Because you
your
know
hearing
they're
skills.
picturing us saying all this
Sure.
as they're listening.
Do you think they know I'm black?
No.
Dang it, I should have said it.
We lost 14 subscribers just now.
We went from viral to highest rating podcast. Literally, dude, Disney was about to call us. Dude, Spotify. Dude, the phone was about to start blowing up, and I just ruined it. I completely ruined it.
Good thing they don't know that I'm Hispanic.
Oh no! Just turn it off. Turn it off.